morning, Dixie Belle family and friends. This is a vintage like hexagon style table. I don't know what it's really called. I have no idea. But I grabbed it from like an abandoned house. They were cleaning it out to renovate it for like a nonprofit organization, and she called. I had done a custom for her, and she's like, "Hey, come grab whatever you want." So I did. And what I did to prep this was I cleaned it with white lightning 4 times. 4 times I cleaned it, and it was just coming off and coming off. And I should have saved the little thing. But how I prep my furniture is I spray it with the white lightning. I take a finishing pad, I cut them into little squares, and I scrub as good as I possibly can, wipe it down, rinse with vinegar water. And it, like I said, the gunk was just, it would not stop. So what I ended up doing, this is probably the dirtiest, nastiest piece I've ever gotten in my entire career, painting career. Like I said, it was in an abandoned house. I put 2 coats of gray boss on here. I normally only do 1 coat when I know it's gonna bleed, and it stinks really bad. I went ahead and put 2 on this thing because it was really bad. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna apply some Woodubend right here. This is like what is this, 1352. I've not opened it yet. And this kind of matches the little thingies over here. I decided I wanted some Woodubend on here, and I know it's not even, but I think it's gonna look really cool. What I'm gonna do is once I get it on, I'm actually gonna drill a hole through it, and I'm just gonna put 1 like pool on it. The pools that were on here were chunky. I mean, they were like, they took almost the entire door up, and they're cool, but I don't know, I went back and forth, but I wanted to use some Woodubend, so I think that's what we're gonna do. I don't have to fill it, because this part's got, it's filled right there. So I don't need to fill it or anything. I can just place it over and be good to go. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put little pops of kudzu in here. I love this color. It's a beautiful color. Beautiful, like, I don't know. It's like a minty green almost, but darker, if that makes sense. I grabbed buttercream, and I grabbed dried sage. I don't know if I'm gonna incorporate this at all. I thought about blending the 2 or doing like a crosshatch type thing. I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do yet, but that's where my head is going. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna apply some Woodubend. I can't find my cord for this thing, so I'm gonna have to use my heat gun. All right, so I'm just gonna set this on my lap, and hopefully I don't burn myself, but I'm gonna heat up my Woodubend, and we're gonna get it applied, and then we'll start painting, okay? So let me just open up this package here. All right, again, this is a Woodubend 1352. I don't know how much it is. I'm sorry, I didn't look, but it comes with 2. It comes with 2 little appliques. All right, so I'm actually just gonna set it on the griddle, like so, and use my heat gun. No paint gel stain. I love no paint gel stain as well. So on your Woodubend, let's talk about Woodubend for a second. Woodubend has all of the properties of wood. You can stain it, you can sand it, paint it, you can do all of the things as you could with wood. I can drill through it like I'm gonna do. And what you wanna do, and you can do this all before you apply it as well. I've done that as well, but you heat it up. You can put it on a little griddle and let it sit. You can use a hair dryer. It will take a little bit longer to heat up, but you can use a hair dryer. I'm using a heat gun. I'm not going to shoot you down. I'm literally just heating it up real quick. Heat it up. You'll apply a good quality wood glue. I'll be using Titebond. This is actually available on the Dixie Belle website. You'll apply your glue, you'll press it down, you'll heat again, you'll keep pressing until it cools off. Woodubend takes about as long as it does to cool off as it does to heat up, is the general rule of thumb. This is not a thin piece, but it's not super thick. So I want to make sure and get it good and warm, and it gets flexible, okay? It bends. All right, so now I'm going to apply my wood glue. You want to make sure you get the entire surface covered back here. All right, I'm just going to use my finger. I got too much, I think. And you want to work fast-ish, because as soon as you take the heat off the Woodubend, it's going to start cooling off. The reason why, even though this is going on a flat surface, the reason why you want to heat it up to apply it, even though it's a flat surface, is there is no such thing as a perfectly flat surface. So that's why you want to heat it up real good and apply this wood glue. And I'll show you what it does. Okay, ooh, that's hot. Let me get this on here. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. Like so. Does that look straight? I think that's straight. All right, let's take a look. You'll put it on, press it down, and you see all that glue squirting out? Can y'all see that? That's a good thing. You don't want to overdo it, but if you've got glue squirting out, that's completely fine. What that means is the surface this Woodubend is soaking it in, and it's getting rid of the excess glue that it does not need. All right, so I'm going to heat it up once more. Titebond does dry clear, so it won't be this yellow color as it dries, and you can clean it up. Of course, I forgot my Q-tips and artist brushes. I'll use a wipe. You just heat it up again, and you just keep pressing as it cools off. This totally changes the look of all of your pieces. Dixie Belle, I believe there's 56 exclusive designs, Woodubend designs, that are exclusive to Dixie Belle. You can use that link to look at all the designs and see which ones you can't live without. You can also get any of the Dixie Belle products I'm talking about today, or you can find yourself a local retailer. Of course, go to your retailer first. But if you don't have one, you can certainly order from that link, and it helps me out. All right, so it's starting to cool down pretty well. I'm not worried about the glue popping out, because this is going to have like a kind of a grungy type of look when it's all said and done. So I'm just going to come along the edges and get what I can. I'm not worried about it being perfect. Like I said, you could get like a toothpick, you could get a Q-tip to pick this out. It does dry clear though, so you don't have to worry about all this yellow gunk. I'm just making sure it's not completely gunked up. All right. Boom. Is that crooked? It looks crooked on camera. I don't know, I guess we'll find out. Let's move over here. I'll do this side real quick. All right, here we go. We'll try to work fast, get as much done as we can. Probably just focus on these doors right now for the live, so you guys can see the baby gel thing. It's a little crooked. That's what I thought. I'll show you. I can fix it. It's hard to tell when you're looking like this. I'll show you how you can fix it. The cool thing about Woodubend is what I'm going to show you. You can always fix it even if it starts drying and cooling. You could pop your Woodubend off of a piece. If it's been on there a day, 2 weeks, whatever. You can pop them off. You got to heat it up really, really, really good. You just take like a putty knife or something and scrape behind it and slowly peel it back. So you can remove them. I'm going to go ahead and get this one added. Ooh, that's hot. Hot. Has anybody here tried Woodubend? Do you want to try Woodubend? Are you contemplating new to Dixie Belle? Let us know. We want to welcome you. Dixie Belle is on. I saw them pop on. Hey, Dixie Belle. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments and Dixie Belle will answer them for you. If they don't get to it, or if it's specific for me, I do come back and read the comments after the lives for a day or so. If it's after that, please tag me so I'm sure to see it. All right, I'm gonna get this on here pretty quick before it starts to dry. Set that down. I'm just trying to make sure it's somewhat even and the holes are covered up since I didn't fill them. All right. Gonna press down really hard. Good pressure. One of the questions a lot of people ask also is pressing down. If it's good and hot, it's gonna feel spongy, and you don't have to worry about that because the design and all the what is the word I'm looking for? The detailing. It will stay in place. It'll pop back like a little sponge. So I don't have to worry about that. Because the hot, if it's pretty warm, you will feel it kind of dip in a little bit. Thank you for whoever told me it did look crooked. Like I said, I'm not worried about it being super cleaned up. All right, let me show y'all. All you got to do is just heat it up real good. And you can move it, you can take it off. Just always be sure to keep your gun going, your heat source going and moving so you don't scorch it. I gotta get in the way. Hang on a second, sorry. Which way is it? Does it go this way? Does that look better? That looks better. I'm trying to use the camera as a guide here. I think that's better. If you wanted to be fancy and sophisticated, you'd measure, but I don't have time. And I don't have my thing. Words are hard. Words are very hard. There we go. I'm not going to worry about drilling the hole for the hardware just yet. Better? Oh, Carrie, thank you. It was you. Yes. All right. Perfect. Okay. So we are going to, that needs to cool off a little bit more. All right. Thank you guys. We're going to go in with some buttercream. Nope, I lied. I need to grab kudzu. We're going to go in with some kudzu and we're just going to apply, how am I going to do this? We're going to apply it in the crevices and all of the detailing. And then I'm probably going to wipe it back as it's wet since it's got a lighter color going over it. Let's try that. I've never really done that. I'm not worried about the buttercream covering it because it will do pretty well. But I want to get to the fun stuff. Bring y'all in close. Hello from Belgium. Welcome. Let me grab a drink. All right, so kudzu. How delicious is that color? And this is just a French tip brush. This is also available on the Dixie Belle website. And I'm just gonna grab a tiny, tiny bit. I'm gonna mush my brush to get it in here. Now what's gonna happen is when I go in with the Voodoo Gel Stain in the Bayou Moss and the Tobacco Road, I'll probably be Tobacco Road first. Thank you. Hi from Australia. Australia? Yeah. Austria. Actually, I think I'm gonna do Tobacco Road first. This was very interesting to clean with all of the detail. It was not fun. I'll tell you that much. Make sure I'm not covering you up. I'm gonna go ahead and grab, and we're gonna wipe this back as we go a little bit. I mean, if I wanted to, I could actually paint it the buttercream first and then do the green. I could, wiping it back like that. I'm just trying to get all up in there. These sides are gonna be, I don't know how I'm gonna do that, honestly. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. J-post or I'm gonna put it on a French tip brush. Yes. Yes. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm thinking as I'm going. I had pulled out, I think 4 different sets of colors before I went live. Some decoupage paper. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. These French tips make it really easy to get into the detailing of the Woodubend. That's not annoying at all, is it? I thought about leaving the Woodubend off and then using the patina line on it and then applying it. I couldn't decide. I'm still thinking as I'm going. Does anybody else do that? I'm notorious for repainting stuff. I'm so bad about it just because I cannot make up my mind. I have so many ideas and I just can't settle on one. Or my execution isn't like I thought it was gonna be. I mean, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. So the thing about too, this, since I'm gonna be using the Voodoo gel stain, if I do happen to miss like little pieces of wood in here, I don't know if you can see that, the Voodoo gel stain is gonna soak that right up. That gel stain is gonna soak right up into that wood. Woodubend. So I'm just gonna clean up these little harsh lines right here. I'm just using a baby wipe. This will make it easier, like I said, for the buttercream to go over it. All right, let's move on. I think the buttercream is going to look so pretty over this kudzu. I love this green. It's probably my favorite green in the chalk mineral line. All right, so if y'all telling me what projects you got going on? Are y'all telling me all the things? I'll tell you what I did. I opened a brand new jar of Boss, the Gray Boss, and I spilled half of it. I was thinking, yeah, it's gonna be a Monday. It always is. I'm just glad I didn't do it live because it went everywhere. Since it's got so much detailing, and if you've watched me, I like to do this little peekaboo color pop thingy. I was gonna do some blending, and I thought that all that detailing is it's just gonna make it too difficult. So I decided against it. Oh, let me get this rope up here. This piece is pretty interesting. I actually have an end table set, kind of like this. The top has got detailing like this all over the top with like glass over it. Those two over there are missing the glass, and so I was going to do like an epoxy type of thing on there. And this one's the same way. It's so crazy, and I found them in different places. But I can't wait to get. I've never used epoxy or anything like that. Is it epoxy? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. See, this in itself is really pretty, honestly. If I'd have painted the buttercream first. Okay, I'm just going to lightly mist my brush, wrap it up in a baby wipe, since I'm not going to be using it anymore. And we're going to blast it with a heat gun. I may not even use the Bayou moss. I don't know. I may go with flat magic. Resin, yes, resin. No epoxy. Thank you, Esther. So when you're doing this type of style of painting or whatever, it's really like layering. I've done it, I think I just did it on the Dixie Belle page not too long ago on this Latin floral little cabinet. I did like 4 or 5 colors kind of in that same manner, and then went over it with you know, a completely different color. And honestly, it's one of my favorite pieces. All right, now we're gonna go in with Evergreen, not Evergreen, Buttercream. See, look at this, y'all. Gosh, what is the deal? Can't take me anywhere. All right, Buttercream. Pretty color, really, really pretty color. I'm going to use, I'm actually going to use my Scarlet brush today. All right, and we're just going to go in like so. So when you're doing this, this is how I do it. When you're applying your paint, you want to, once you dip your paintbrush, you want to deposit it on the flat surfaces first. That way, you, like if I were to go in here, it's going to cover up a lot of that kudzu, which is fine. You can fix it, but it's just an extra step you have to take. So that's what you want to do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna I might skip the Bayou moss actually. I don't know. See right there, I covered up, I don't know if you can see. I covered up that little section. It's fine though. You don't want it to be perfectly even, or I don't anyways. So if you're just jumping on, we applied some Woodubend here. I'm going to drill a hole through them and put different hardware on there. It was prepped with Gray Boss. That's what the color is on there now. We put kudzu in all the detailing, and now I'm coming in with buttercream. It's super hard to get in there. I just realized I didn't wipe my brush. I'm losing everything. Usually always mist my brush before I paint. I almost like that gray popping through. The Boss. Try not to get in y'all's way. I'm thinking. What do y'all think? Y'all think I should add in some dried sage? I think there's like some depth and texture. I could also, yeah. Can't decide. I usually like to have a major plan before I come on here. Some days it just doesn't happen. You know what? Let's add in some. Yeah, sage. You think? Okay. I'm thinking I want to. Dried sage is a beautiful color. I did some end tables in dried sage not too long ago. I'm just going to use the same brush. This paint is mostly dry because it's just a thin kind of swoop over it. And we'll just do some like cross hatching type of business. I don't know. I'm thinking. Hi, Lynn. Good morning. I'm trying not to cover up the buttercream too much as I'm trying to decide if I like if I like it. I do want to get in here a little bit. Go back. I think I do like it, the color, kind of the color combination. I'm just spraying with regular water, not vinegar water or anything, just regular water in my finest water bottle. And get some of that buttercream back in there. You like it, Amber? I think I do too. There's too much green in there. I don't like it. I just want a little bit coming through. So I want some of it to blend, some of it to be streaky. Are we liking that? Company and I am learning at the same time. Good. Good, good, good. Bringing you along the creative process. My creative process. I was thinking I would have, I don't even know if I have white boss. That way, if there's any of that boss showing, since it's got so much detailing, it would blend in a little bit better. But that boss, it is clashing. I don't know if you can, you can't see it on camera. It is clashing a little bit with the sage and the buttercream. Get some up here. I actually wanted the buttercream to be the main color, but I'm thinking actually I want the dried sage. Now that I get it on there. I like a little more of the green. Yeah, I can always go back and fix the green. All you have to do is just get a little artist brush and dip it in your paint, tap it back, and then you just go in there and just swirl it around, and it looks just like you know this here. Yeah, I think I like the dried sage showing more. Yeah, it's over here. I don't have enough space. I'm working out of my lid on the buttercream so I don't get the dried sage in my jar. But honestly, I use so little of the paint, it really doesn't affect it that much. So this is just how it's gonna be, just layer and layer and layer. Baby, I'm like, not right now, baby. Hang on a second. Yes, okay, grab one. Sorry. All right, let's think for a second. Do we want... So this little portion is probably going to be gone and not showing. I gotta get back in there. Trying to cover up this gray as best as I can. Yeah, I think I like that. I'm gonna grab the, actually I'm gonna dry this real quick. Sorry, I'm back and forth. I like the green on this side better than over here. More of it is showing over here. I think what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna try the Bayou moss real quick. I'm running out of time. We'll just take a look and see how it's gonna look. We'll do it on here. I'm glad we decided on that dried sage. I like that. All right, got my plate here. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna put some Easy Peasy on it. And what that does is it kind of seals the paint initially, and it gives me more like wiggle room to move this around. So for Easy Peasy, you just shake it. You'll hear water at first. And then when you can't hear any more fluid, it's ready to go. So I'm just gonna spray this a little bit. I'm just gonna spread it around. Easy peasy, normally dries in about 10 to 15 minutes. I like easy peasy for this. You can do it with the besting wax and even the gilding waxes to give you a little bit more control. But I like it for also sealing in dark colors, like if I'm using in the navy or like aubergine or something like that. I like it to get that initial seal before I top coat it to prevent with streaking. If I'm using chocolate or caviar or something like that, I actually use glaze to give me that initial seal. The Van Dyke Brown or the black glaze. All right, so Voodoo Gel Stain is a water-based stain, so you can top coat over it once it's dry, and it dries really, really quick. I'm just gonna pour a little bit on a plate. It's a soft green undertones. Whoa, that was crooked. Put this on a plate, and I've got a flat medium here. I'm going to have a baby wipe handy. You can use a baby wipe, a wet shop towel. And we're gonna dump it in there. I don't like that. I'll tell you right now, I don't like it. It definitely overpowers the, well, I'm gonna have to get an artist brush and come back in with that kudzu. All right, so I'm not gonna worry about, I don't want it all over the place. I still want that kudzu to show. Get it on there, wipe it back. Now keep in mind, this is the first coat. So I've got another coat to play with the colors, the placement, and things like that. I'm kind of thinking, so I told you I liked the Bayou Moss and the Tobacco Road combined. I may come in with Tobacco Road and just put a little bit in there to kind of give it a more of a patina look. But I think this is kind of the general overview of where I'm going with this, and hopefully it gave you some ideas. Let me bring you in really quick and show you what it looks like. This is kind of my favorite right here with more of that kudzu popping through. But yeah, some of the, I guess people call it dry hatching or cross hatching, and you can see the sage and the buttercream, but it also blends in parts, which I like. Yeah, I think the Tobacco Road would be good, but that's where we're at. And again, this is the first coat, so it's kind of in its ugly phase a little bit, so don't freak out. All right, so I'm gonna work on this a little bit, and then I'm gonna decide if there's anything else I want to do, if I want to put in some gilding wax or something like that. If I kind of decide I want to make a little bit, more changes that are going to change the look of it pretty much, I will come back on here and we'll work on it next Monday. I'll bring you along, okay? All right, you guys use that link there. You can get any of the products that I used today, talked about today. I don't know that the Woodubend is on there, actually, I didn't check, but I do have a link for that. If you're interested, just shoot me a message. But you can use that link. You can find a local retailer near you to get the products, or you can order them straight from that link, and it helps my small business out. I appreciate you guys so much when you use it. Other than that, y'all tag me if you have any comments, and I'll see you guys same time, same place next week, and do a little bit more painting for you guys. All right? Y'all have a good week, and I'll see you later. Bye. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more, be sure to subscribe and click that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. Also, I typically put out a blog to show how I finish these pieces of furniture. If you head on over to my website, thepurpleposy.com, and sign up for the mailing list, you'll get notified when those blogs are posted as well.